claiming space is a very interesting concept we have in our psychological and social and organizational life. Claiming space or not claiming space means that though you deserved a lot in terms of maybe position, in terms of maybe a designation, in terms of power, you never aspire for it, you never work for that. When you do that, when you don't claim space, I think you are being humble and you are more interested in contributing rather than getting. You are a giver, not a taker. I must mention the best person I had come across in my life as person who never claimed space is Dr. Udai Pareek. His contributions have been enormous. In early 60s, he prepared a bibliography of all behavioral science research in India. Between 1960 and 65, 66, till he went to US, I think he documented everything that is possible in terms of behavioral science research in India and behavioral science researchers outside in India, and brought out a series of volumes when he was at SIUT Institute. I call it almost like Google. In old days there was no Google in 1960s, but his book had all the information about all researchers in behavioral sciences, not only psychology, sociology, anthropology, extension education, and so many of those. But he never claimed space for his contributions of bringing out a directory of behavioral sciences. In fact, people used to call him in those years behavioral science bibliography man. When I wanted to join him, one of the senior professionals advised me, why do you want to go and work with the bibliography man? I mean, that was the kind of thing that Udai did that. And he was president of Andhra Pradesh Psychological Association just before I joined the psychology department in Osmania University. He never claimed space after that. When he returned from US, I joined him in 1969. He returned sometime towards the end of 1968. The Indian Psychological Association was dead. Not much was happening. He got all the old addresses together, created new addresses, worked with Dr. Prayag Mehta, and with the help of NCERT, he rejuvenated the Indian Psychological Association. After having done so much of work, he wanted Dr. Ship Mitra, who was the NCERT director, to be the president of the Indian Psychological Association. So he never claimed space or position. In fact, he was never an office bearer in Indian Psychological Association, which he so much built up. Later, he created Indian Behavioral Science Abstracts, and of course, most people know his contributions to the Indian Society for Applied Behavioral Sciences. Starting sometime in the year 1970 until he died in the year 2010, that is almost about 40 years, he nurtured Indian Society for Applied Behavioral Sciences, but he never aspired to be its president or executive director. He worked with everyone possible. Of course, interim, when there was a need and he needed to fill some kind of a vacuum, he did volunteer as an interim kind of a president. In fact, he didn't volunteer, but he was put to be interim president. He was not one of the founders of the National HRD Network. He was in Indonesia when we started National HRD Network. But 3 years later, when he arrived back into India, he took so much of interest. He was the third president of the National HRD Network. And only he completed his term as 2 years, but after that again, from 1990 till the year 2010, almost for about 20 years, he has not missed any time he was invited to any kind of a meeting and so on. He again never claimed space, whether it is ISAPS or HRD Network or the Academy of Human Resources Development, for which he was one of the founders. He never again claimed space, but he was all the time there for all these bodies and never missed any particular kind of an event. Friends, I think this is greatness of Dr. Udai Pareek, who never claimed space. I think this is a very important concept, that not claiming space Even when you have contributed a lot nowadays, with small contributions, we expect a lot in return. In fact, more than what we give, we want people to give us back. We are more interested in taking. I think those who don't claim space are the ones who are only interested in giving and not expecting any position of power, influence, and things like that. I still remember in IIM Ahmedabad, where he worked as a senior professor and also as an L&T professor. He could have been the director of IIM Ahmedabad. Whenever there was an opportunity, I think Dr. Pareek would spot a person who probably deserves to be the director, and that is how he got Dr. Vyas to be the director of IIM. He actively worked for that and so on. I think these are all some excellent examples in terms of the lives of people like Dr. Udai Pareek, who never claimed space for themselves. Claiming space or not claiming space is a great indication of humility and a sense of service and a devotion to your job. You do your job, you do something because you have to do it, not because you want to get a position and you enjoy the position. So friends, this video is meant mainly to communicate to you. I think it's very important in life to do our job and enjoy whatever doing and not expect anything in return. I think this is what in many ways I think Lord Krishna says in Gita. I think you can only own your effort, not the results. So don't claim space. Certainly you will get what you deserve. Thank you for watching this video.